Hello class, today we are on section 4.4 polynomials. Turn to page 251 and let's look at a little vocabulary. On page 251 it says a polynomial is an algebraic expression that has a single term or the sum of several terms containing whole number exponents on the variable. A polynomial is one or more terms with positive whole number exponent. That is the definition of a polynomial. On page 253, it talks about the degree of a binomial. If a is the non-zero coefficient, the degree of the binomial ax to the nth is n. So the degree is the nth, which is your highest exponent. The degree of a binomial with several variables is the sum of the exponents on those variables. And we will see an example of that today. The degree of a polynomial. The degree of a polynomial is the degree of the term with the largest exponents. When you hear the term degree, you want to think of the largest exponent in the problem. Turn back to page 259 and look at number 31. Number 31 says determine whether each expression is a polynomial. Number 31, I have x to the fourth power plus 3x squared minus 5. Looking at the exponents connected to the variable, I have positive 4 and positive 2. Because these are positive whole number exponents, it is a polynomial. So my answer is yes, it is a polynomial. Number 32, 2x to the negative 2 power minus 3x plus 7. Look at your exponents. I have an exponent of negative 2 and an exponent understood to be positive 1. Because the negative 2 is not a positive whole number exponent, it is not a polynomial. So it is a no. It is not a polynomial because the 2 is negative. Number 33, I have 3x to the 1/2 power minus 4. Your exponent this time is positive, but it's not a whole number. It's a fraction, or you can see it as a decimal. So because 1/2 is not a whole number, it is not a polynomial. So this is also a no. Number 34, I have 0.5x to the fifth power minus 0.25x to the second power. Your numerical coefficients are 0.5 and 0.25. That does not matter. It doesn't matter if the coefficients are decimals. What matters is what's going on with the exponents. I have a positive whole number of 5 and 2. Because these are both positive whole number exponents, it is a polynomial. So this is a yes. Look at number 37. It says classify each polynomial as a monomial, a binomial, a trinomial, or none of these. Number 37, I have 3y squared plus 4y plus 3. You are to look at the terms separately by the plus and minus signs or equal signs. A plus, minus, equal sign separates each term. So I have 1, 2, 3 terms. Because I have 3 terms here, it is a polynomial because I see the positive whole number exponents. So I don't have to confirm that. It is a trinomial. Number 39, I have 3z to the second And I only see one term. I don't see it separated by addition, subtraction, equal sign, none of that. I only see one term. So this is also a polynomial, but it's a monomial because it has only one term. Number 41, 5t minus 32. I see 2 terms, so it is a binomial. We know tri means 3, we know bi means 2, and binomial, we know that means 1. Number 43 says, give the degree of each polynomial. So we have talked about the vocabulary term of degree. It is going to be your largest exponent. Number 43, I have 4x to the 7th minus 5x to the 2nd. My degree here is the largest exponent, so my answer here is the 7th. Number 45, negative 2x squared plus 3x to the 3rd. What is the highest exponent? The highest exponent is 3. So my degree is 3rd. One thing I want you to notice on 43, the answer is written in descending order. It goes from 7 and it jumps down to 2, but it's descending. On 45, it's ascending. It went from 2 to 3. It goes up. Most problems you do see in descending order and not so much in ascending order. Number 47, I have 3x squared y to the 3rd plus 5x to the 3rd y to the 5th. This one is very different. It goes back to what we read earlier. And I want to read that one more time. It says the degree of a monomial, but it can be any type of polynomial, with several variables is the sum of the exponents on those variables. I see a variable of x and y, and we ought to take the sum of those variables. So we know the word sum means to add. If I look at my sum here, 2 plus 3 is 5. And then if I look at my sum here, 3 plus 5 is 8. So my degree is 8. Have a degree of 8. Because 3 plus 5 give me 8. Number 49, negative 5 r squared s squared t minus 3 r to the 3rd s t squared plus 3. Right here you have to be very careful, because if you notice, the t is understood to be to the 1 power and the s is understood to be to the 1 power. So be very careful to make sure you count those as well. If I look at my first term, I see 3 terms. If I look at my first term, and that's very important too, remember what I said earlier, the minus sign, plus sign, or equal sign will separate each term. So this is a term, this is a term, and that's a term. If I count my exponents, 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5, 3 plus 1 plus 2 is 6. So my answer is the 6. Degree is your largest exponent. Okay, that is it for this section. I just want to review over properties of exponents again. When you multiply, you add the exponents. When you divide, you subtract the exponents. When you have a power raised to a power, you multiply the powers. When the base is raised to a 0 power, it equals 1. When the exponent is negative, you just move it across the fraction bar. And when the entire base, you see a huge base raised to a 0 power, we know it equals 1. When you see a entire huge base raised to a negative exponent, then you write the reciprocal of the base. And only that outside number becomes positive. So just remember those things. We have talked about properties of exponents, and we are now going into polynomials. So please study and continue working on any assignments.